as to what will look better. Yeah, that is scary.
I hate it when a teacher says.
I have done this painting a couple times before because it's one of my go-tos in classes. And the last time I did it, I went, I wished that I had made the front of the boat bigger, taller, higher. Because I ended up with the bottom of the canvas is horizontal, the bottom of the boat was horizontal, the red-white dividing line was horizontal, and the top of the boat was horizontal. Like, oh, doggone it. Way too many horizontal lines. Follow me? So you can see I've already done it. I've made the front of my boat as if it was facing us, facing the viewer and coming up higher. Because I think it will make a more interesting composition if I do that. I think. You don't have to follow that, but I'll go ahead and tell you that's one thought I have, having done it before. Okay, and then you just go ahead and scribble in some of the details. If there's anything in the photograph that you say, I don't like that, you have the right to say that. You may take it out. Okay? If you say, you know what, I think it would look better if there's a telephone pole sticking up over to the right, then you can do that. That's legal. That make sense?
If you make a line you don't like, do you try to do something different?
Leave it, I guess that, leave it alone. Of the boat, of the painting in the later stages. Now here's something. This is an unusual boat, it seems to me, because usually when a boat is in dry dock up on stilts, it has things leaning up against the hull at an angle. Is anybody here a boat person, real big boat person? Well, I just drawn it. Do you see this mark right here? That to me looks a little more old boat yard-ish than the photograph does. I think this boat's just sitting on cinder blocks. But I think the reason I'm going to add it is because it gives me a very nice counter angle to the prevailing angle of the boat. This coming down at this angle is just a nice contrast. You can copy me if you'd like in that respect, or you can ignore me. You can say, I think that's dumb, and not do it. Okay? It's up, fine. The accent color in this painting is clearly the color red. The bottom of the boat and the roof of the shed are both red. Then I would suggest that before we put our red brushes down, you just take a second and scribble in some red stuff where those two things go. And I do.
Such as the roof?
Roof and bottom of the boat. And I would love it if you would do it as messy as I did it. You could hear how I was doing it. Okay, you should be very close to finished with that layer.
So you don't worry about your yucky brush marks at all.
Let me paraphrase that. All your brush marks should be interesting.
This is a zigzag, it ain't interesting.
Right.
It still is a zigzag.
I see.
Yeah.
You're drawing entirely wet in wet.
Oh, is that what's going on?
That's what's going on. Is because you have your big swooshes were so much thicker than mine. That's okay. In fact, you might pick up. Do you have a purple mixed up?
I have two blues.
Pick up a little ultramarine. Do some draw. Follow me. So switch colors slightly. Okay, is everybody ready? I think yesterday when we got to this point, we started in blue. Remember on those houses, and I think at this point we went right to white, which was kind of like a little surprising, a little early. Let's not do that today. Let's do pencils right now. or in your case, pencil. I'm drawing with 2 pencils. You can try it if you want. Okay, so what are you going to do with pencils? You're going to scratch your chin a little bit and say, and you'll say, I like it so far. Are you with me? Thank you. But I think I can make my drawing even just a little bit more accurate than what I just did a few minutes ago. Make sense? So you make those adjustments. So you look at the picture and you go, well, now I sort of wish I'd moved this line over a little bit. And I wish I'd made for me, I wish so I'm making the perspective on the shed a little more extreme. Blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. Does that make sense? All of that is then you make the changes that you want. Now, and understand, of course, this is not the last time you're going to be drawing. Now, wait. This is a good time, though, with that pencil in your hand. Listen, there are not very many perspective lines in this photograph. I'm going to demand that every single one of you line up your pencil with, there's about 8 lines on that house. You're going to line up your pencil with every stinking line. You're not going to wimp out and say, oh, whatever, and just wing it. That'd be kind of mean here. Forget pencil. So if you have to have the picture right beside it, you do. You hold your pencil and say, okay, the angle for this part of the roof is like that. And then you very carefully move your pencil over and trace that. I figured it out eventually. I was a little slow. Thank you. Okay, will you let me be that mean? I'm sorry. But most of your struggles, most of your struggles last time were drawing issues and perspective issues. And it's fair to say, no surprise, fair to say that most of you don't savvy linear perspective. It's not in your belly. It doesn't flow out through your fingers. No shame, but compensate. So one of the ways is either the clock face method or the hold the pencil method. Okay? And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, basically 8 lines. And 3 of them are perfectly vertical. No, right? The far side of the shed, can we even see it? No. I mean, it might be insinuated in there. And you understand that this thing right here is some kind of boom on the boat, right? It's not a part of the roof of the shed.
I'm having a problem with the front end of the boat.
Okay, then how are you going to accomplish it?
I don't know.
Pencil angles.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, the easiest angle is the very front of the boat, right? You put your picture up there.
Yeah, I got that.
You got that, and you're going to draw a line.
I just can't get the other side to look right.
Which side?
All right, if you're looking at the boat like this, you only see this line. But if you're looking at it and you've twisted your boat a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, not enough to see the other side.
Okay.
No, if it was, it would be here, but it's not in the photograph at all, and I'm not going to bother trying to do that. Right? I don't think we can see the other side.
Okay.
Good point.
And then I can do that.
Yeah. I believe you can.
I was just having trouble with I can't get that other side.
Yeah. This boat, by the way, this photograph was taken down east. Y'all know where down east is?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
There's several down east actually up and down the East Coast. Maryland has one, New Jersey has one, New York has one, North Carolina has the most interesting one. It's if you get on Highway 70 and you go through Beaufort and you just stay on it through Beaufort, not through the historic part, and you turn left at the far end of Beaufort and you're heading north again along the Atlantic. That's down east, where the Hoyters live. Fascinating. They were so isolated for so long that they still have remnants of their English brogue in their accent. It's really amazing. They're like 10 or 12 little. And I have no idea where all the stuff on the boat is. I've had discussions in previous classes. Some, I don't. It's not a classic oyster. It's not an oyster boat. It's not a shrimp boat.
It looks like a shrimp boat.
It looks like a what? Shrimp boat. Could it be a shrimp boat? I'm out of my depth, so. Oh.
We went into the Bubba Gump restaurant and my daughter said, Mama, where's Andes? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She says, you know, there's boiled shrimp and there's boiled shrimp and there's shrimp stuff. I said, oh,
Andes.
Andes. I said,
From the picture, does the barn have is that a porch?
Yes, yes. There is a porch with an old sofa on it. With an old soggy.
That's probably to the left.
Yeah.
So that's part of the porch. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, I'm with you.
There's or concrete
slam.
wall.
No, I had my boat shoot.
30 you'll overdo. The same as me. I'll overdo every single stage. So stop before you think you're. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is white. White with no medium in it. Yes, paint.
Flashing.
Pardon?
I mean, we're filling in the color. Is that right?
Anything that is light. Yeah, this is off. And the building is painted white. But we're not painting things that are painted white. We're painting anything that's light in value, which includes the boat. For a second, I'll do it real quick. Quickly, forgive the bad grammar.
Thank you for noticing.
The grammar ghost screams at me.
I cringe everybody. There's signs on the interstate that say drive safe.
Of course, my tube is you know, it's a liquid. It's a pourable acrylic, so it's not quite as thick as what literally comes out of a tube. And if you feel like you've made a mistake, you know, then just make a correction. Don't put the new line down where you think it ought to go. Don't try to correct the old line. Just leave it there. Now, I don't really have much I can do with white, and that's about it, really. I guess I could do a little bit here. Not much. Because I haven't painted anything in the trees. Have y'all? Y'all painted anything in the trees?
We haven't done anything you haven't told us to do.
I don't know about that.
We haven't done anything we haven't bought.
That's right. There you go. Drive safe. Okay, I'm done drawing. You go for another minute.
That looks like so much money.
Polly, are you starting over?
Yes.
It's getting serious, folks.
All right.
On that last canvas. Okay. No problem. You just catch up, my dear. So you have to go double fast now, but you know what we did, didn't you? You can remember those three steps, whatever it's been. How many steps has it been? The abstract, then the drawing, then the pencil, then the white. So it's been 4 steps. Boy, wasn't that painless? Okay, you're just about done with the white, aren't you?
No.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. If I let you go as long as you want.
No, I haven't even touched it.
Okay. I guess not having started is you're not
Yeah,
finished. I agree.
that's the line I was looking for. So but that's you did to yours in white. The lines from the boat.
Oh yeah, up into the
Yeah.
tree. Yeah, there's not. You can if you want. There's not enough
But
there.
you're going to be painting over it.
That's right. That's right.
So-
We'll be doing more white as you know.
So did you do your booms with red?
I did. I just drew them real quick. It was just drawing. It wasn't because I wasn't because they were going to be red. I was just drawing with a red brush.
So the only place I'm putting white is like here and like.
Okay, right. Okay, good. I'm glad you mentioned. No.
Because now I have a pink path.
Where's your white?
White.
Yeah, it's like those
Yeah.
like you see in the back.
No, you're being too. You need to back up your what is light to. Let me do this up here. Let me pick on Betty's painting just so you get an experience. Here's her photograph. She's wondering what is light. Okay, can I just do this, Betty?
Please.
Okay, so obviously it looks like it's drawn fairly well already, but there's this down here. You're using way too small a brush, my dear. And the window.
Wow.
And the roof. Are y'all getting this?
Yeah.
There's a theme here. The same thing keeps happening over and over and over. Where y'all are painting careful inside lines, and I keep doing woohoo. I want you to move way toward woohoo while I'm here. Okay? Till 4 o'clock tomorrow, then you can go back to your sanity. But even part of the porch there. Is that all right? Thanks for letting me do that, Betty.
I was congratulating myself because I'd actually found the filbert.
Just when you start congratulating yourself.
It's too little. Use the big one. Go for it, girl.
Thank you. Okay, here you go. Thanks for letting me demonstrate. Okay, y'all are done with the white?
Pretty nice.
Okay, now you have to be very wet and came in with color and created an opaque color. So you just put your brushes down, take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy life while you watch me paint. Okay? We're gonna do that old trick again. I have here a brush that I've been flicking for several seconds to get it just damp. You with me? And I'm gonna do the smear out the wet stuff. Okay? Don't even think about doing this slowly, gently, softly, or repeatedly. Like, don't go like this. No, it's a one stroke with all your might, sort of.
Did you go over the white?
Did I what?
You went over the white.
Yes, I went over the white.
Even though you white's not dry.
That's why I did it. That's why I did it. It's so it dries faster. I wiped out the thick bits. Wiped out the thick bits so they dry faster. Plus, at the same time, get this delightful little bits of energy. And that's why you can't do it slow. If you do it slow, it will look like crap. Trust me. So you have to do it like a man.
So
Forgive me.
in order to get that, can we spray it again so we can get that?
No,
Because mine
anything.
was dry.
And that's okay. Then you don't have the problem. We'll be doing it. We'll be doing it again. The primary purpose is to make it dry. If you're already dry, you're okay. The secondary benefit is, oh, by the way, we get these nice energy strokes. Okay, but let yours dry because I think most of yours is probably y'all is not dry. We're going to do. We're going to do the dance of painting. Large mark, large, little, light, dark, literal, expressive. So a very good candidate for the next thing is large and dark. So guess what I'm thinking? I'm thinking green, blue, orange, any of those. I'm trying to decide which one. I'm going to do orange and phthalo blue, kind of slightly mixed on my two brushes. Okay? It's not too energetic. It's just got too many blank spots in it. There we go. As if my brush wasn't quite wet enough. Does that make sense? Nah. I think my white was a little bit too wet still because I think I picked up some white. So I'm not just going to be real careful to let it. So if you want to take just a minute, to make sure your white is dry. And you might want to feel your white to see if it's dry. If it's wet, do not do this if your white's wet. Okay?
Did you put medium with your white?
Never. It just wastes the medium and wastes the white.
Did you use green?
I didn't. I actually used orange and phthalo blue. If you don't have orange, then obviously red and yellow. Exactly. Red, yellow, and phthalo blue. I will wait for you to get to that point. Wait till your white's dry. This is critically important. If you hurry this up and your white's wet, you'll get ugly, opaque green. Trust me. Evidently my white was not quite dry. Because can you see how I've got opaque green dripping down on top of my red?
Yeah.
That does not meet with my approval. Okay? Now fortunately it's slight, so it's like, okay, I'll just let it go. But evidently my white wasn't quite as dry as I thought it was. I don't want you to, don't follow me in this.
Or don't make the same.
Don't make.
I can get my brush wet with it, because you said yours was dripping down. Yours was wet.
My white paint was wet.
Oh.
My white paint was wet.
Oh,
That's
it's really
what.
been wet, 'cause you have a lot of drips on there.
Oh no, I don't care about the drips. I like the drips.
I do too.
But it's the opacity of. It's the fact that it's not clear, transparent like glass, green, dripping down on top of my red. It's muddy green because it's got white in it. Because my white wasn't dry.
But you didn't use a bit of water. No.
Blue paint.
Blue and orange makes it better.
Blue orange paint.
But you can't do it to your white.
Can't do it to your white's dry.
You didn't strike out your white either, did you?
So after you do your white, one of the things, yeah, right. One of the tricks we've done is streak out your white so that the fat stuff will dry faster.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Okay. How do you do that?
How do you avoid the fat? You don't do like this. It works to your advantage. Because you can go like this.
Yeah.
So that now the fat areas are fat.
Yeah, right.
Another one going that way.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Which orange?
Not this.
Ah.
Let me demonstrate, and I mean it.
I got you.
Yeah, there you go. No, the double stroke is a killer. The double stroke is like. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Is that a description
Now
of my
I
technique?
use the larger dance.
Double stroking.
Yes.
Take it off, put it on it, take it off.
That's right. Right.
No, because I think this was one that the adjustment.
Is your white dry? Are we all waiting for your white to dry?
I think
No, it's not. Okay. Tell you what then, hang on. We're wasting too much time waiting for that to dry. We can do something else. Pick up your little old pencil and draw for the next 4 or 5 minutes. And you can say, well, I just finished drawing. I know, but now you can draw it better. Again, more accurately, a little bit more detail. You with me? I don't want to be wasting time waiting for paint to dry. Myself, in my own profession, I have not. When I'm doing a wedding, I don't stand around for 5 minutes waiting for the last layer to dry. I have to make up something to do. So, yeah, do that. Pick up your pencil and do some more drawing. A little bit more detail, a little bit more accuracy while we wait for the white stuff to dry. Okay, so 2 words. Accuracy, so you can move things around. And detail. Add things that you didn't even do last time. Like, let's say we drew for 2 minutes with our pencils last time. Well, we can draw for a couple minutes. Because while we're doing this, our white can be drying. Make sense? Man, my white was really not dry. I don't know what I was thinking. It's still wet. You know, I wonder.
I guess mine's dry because I'm sitting on this.
Yeah, maybe.
Mine dried immediately. Maybe I have
Let's
too
close
much
this
eating.
door, that's all right?
Sure.
If your air conditioner is working tonight. Okay, so just do some. I'm doing like a line under gunnel. The gun whale. You know, a line under, there's a strong shadow under the gunnel.
You need to tell us what you call it.
Yeah. Variables. And then there's all these boards, so you can draw some boards
Okay.
on the hull. That's called a hull. Silly. I don't know boats either. I was proud that I knew gunnel. That was from canoe. Of good painting and drawing is the art of making interesting marks. So even these peppery and lively and interesting, not dead, straight, square, stiff. Forgive me for all that. Literally what I'm trying to say, but that's sort of the best I can do. You want your lines to have an energy, aliveness, and again, forgive me for all terms technically mean anything. But I'm trying to communicate an intuitive reality with denotative language. It's really hard to do.
I'm
Confused.
confused.
You knew what I was doing till I said all those words.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got some bushes and stuff. Do I draw the bushes?
Yes. Scribbly. Tastefully. Bushily.
How about the trees?
Yes, I just did some trees up here. Again,
But with your pencil or your brush?
your pencil.
You didn't hear that.
No. I heard that. I thought there was more. We're drawing with pencils now because we're all waiting for our white paint to dry. One of the fun recreation activities. Good. I feel it already.
Got my whole pole. Learn to draw a tree. You can tear there's another line.
Are you catching up?
Oh, I can there. Wake up when we're ready.
What'd she say? I heard that.
Wake up when we're ready. It was, I couldn't fall asleep. I hate to do that. She's so wake up when we're ready. This is a more correct drawing than I had.
Beach Boys now.
Right.
Brown Snake. So,
Yay.
which is, you asked me what kind of music I like.
Eclectic.
The answer is yeah, something else. Whatever comes next. It includes Beach Boys. How are we going in the paint dry department?
Ultramarine and orange.
That's a good idea. It's still,
Phthalo.
mine's still tacky.
Yeah. Sorry.
I missed the
You turn the air conditioning on a little bit higher.
Well, that's because he put blue and orange and white. It mixed with this wet white paint,
Okay.
and it made that,
Yeah,
that yucky.
that's like when you got green.
Yeah, not a nice green.
Yeah, that's
Does not meet with my approval.
Okay.
It's pretty.
Thankfully, I had 11 layers to go. to cover up that.
Stone color on half of the brush and the other color.
I did. No, yes. Yes, I did. I put one half the color on one half of my brush and the other color on the other. This is your phthalo. That's your awesome green. So it's okay to use that.
I know that.
Yeah, yeah, you got that. Now, you'll still get an okay green. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything, but since you asked. Yeah, I did. Phthalo and orange makes a nice green. I think that's the reason I don't care about what color green I have, because honestly, most of my greens get mixed up from blue and yellow, because you have more play, more interesting. Speaking of drying paintings, I presume you have some hair dry. But what I have used is heat gun. It's like 400 degrees, and so it's like, you know.
Be careful, you said you smoke.
That's it. Yeah, it's you can burn yourself. My old age, I don't like noises. I don't like power tools. I use them all the time, but I don't like those noises. And I don't like hair dryers. So heat, you can go for it. And whatever you do, don't brush back and forth. Just kind of slap it on and leave it.
You know, you use a heat gun and a torch, a creme brulee torch, and run up the silicone in your pores.
Bring up the silicone in your what?
In your pore, like cells in your pore freeze. You add
In your skin?
the ring.
Oh, in your pore, your poring stuff.
Yes.
You talking about my pores?
Yes. Not P-O-R-E, not P-O-O-R-E.
That's right. Okay, mine's getting dry. It's still not dry.
So what are we
Getting there.
doing? We're doing an orange and a phthalo?
Everything.
I did orange and phthalo.
Okay.
Yes, Scott.
Everything except white
Okay.
that you do in acrylics, you're using a medium. Is that
I'm using what?
everything except white?
Yes, you're using a medium. Good job. Yes. Yes, because I want all my colors transparent. I don't want my white transparent, you understand, is an oxymoron.
Right.
The air in this room is transparent white. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So,
They have some crazy company, acrylic company, actually sells a bottle of transparent white. That is,
Some people buy it.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It should be a bottle of air.
Mine just doesn't.
Our transparent white is more transparent than your transparent white.
I did something wrong.
Did you? What? Show me. With your green?
Don't feel bad.
Oh,
I
no,
don't
that's
have
not green.
either.
What was that supposed to be? Oh, yeah. Wait, okay. Hang on.
So much green in this building over here.
Well, bless you, Dottie. At least you quit before you went very far.
Ready to start over again? No, I think I can manage from here.
Blue
He gets to be, he's
inside each other.
Oh. Everything in this is supposed to have lots of medium.
That's why I went to this.
Okay. That maybe, I saw that. It's not a problem.
Well, yeah, I tried that and it didn't work, but I got some of the paint.
Here, let me see. So green and orange. Yes, it's green. I think yours just wasn't mixed, and it's a little bit too opaque. I think both of them are too opaque. Does that make sense? So you can use more medium in both of them. How that might work. Or some, if I put that in either one, it's going to be a 10 again. But that's green. It just wasn't mixed. You might dip this in your water. Okay, try it now.
I didn't understand what you said. I thought you said I put one on after the brush and the other on the outside.
I did, but I didn't mean them to keep it separated.
And so they kept them separate.
Right. I did do that. I did do one corner and the other, but I mixed them up. Because we do want.
You can always using the chip brush.
Yes. Okay, when things get really desperate and it's not done. Yeah, show me what you did there, Dottie.
Yeah, I think they're real loud.
Maybe look at Oh, yeah, way too opaque. Oh, God.
That's not the shape, right?
No, and for some reason it's opaque.
Yeah.
I don't. It's because your color is like a medium. And
Yellow. Yellow
is always opaque. So you need more yellow, more medium, more medium and a yellow, even more medium.
Yellow needs to be, so top really, so it's three colors. You can
Yes,
use three.
yeah, and don't use that. Unless you add it. Well, you could use it.
Add a lot of medium.
Add a lot of medium to it, yeah. That's usable.
Yeah, because it's too thick.
Well, I don't know if I'm doing right or wrong. Anybody else doing good?
Catching up, good. As a rule, and you have the opposite tendency of everybody else in here, their glazes are too opaque, and yours is slightly too transparent. So way to go, you're balancing out the class. And I appreciate that. Now, between the two, her problem is easier to deal with, because you just need to add more paint to your canvas. When it's oh, you're doing pretty good. I mean, you just about to do green, right? You just did a tiny bit. That's what, see my greenish blue stuff? That's what I would do on top of the white. That you're right there. And Bonnie, like this is a little bit heavy. Just dip your brush in water and rub it through that. Yeah, and it'll lighten up. Make sure it's pretty wet. Is it wet? No, forgive me. May I? I'm talking like this. And then you can even use a little rag, a paper towel if you wanted to make that lighter. But the drips are always pleasant.
Yeah, it's mine too.
That's just pure blue. But it's a nice start. I like it. It's just different than mine.
Okay.
I think the main thing I would say is that it parallels too closely. Like you have all these streaks going the same way. No, you have your yellow, red stroke goes this way, and your blue strokes go this way too. So there's a redundancy happening that isn't necessary. So just make some strokes going the other way.
Okay.
Anybody else? Everybody else doing okay?
We're doing great.
Yeah, it's a little bit scrubby. Bolder strokes, a little bit more water, so it flows better and runs better. Yeah. Yeah. Now do what she's doing. Green, blue, you ready? Is it dry? Yeah, do some, because it's
totally opposite of yours.
Yeah. See what somebody up there did. You just streak.
I like color and things too. I don't have a like that at all. Not at all.
Well, I was just wondering, and I used to like colorful as well.
Pretty. Yeah. I love pastel.
Yeah. I'm thinking, by the way, I didn't make this any clear. I didn't clear it at all. When I picked out a green, I was thinking this is at least my first underpainting layer for trees. And some of you are like completely missing the trees.
Yeah.
I was thinking trees.
Totally missed out.
That's why I picked. Thank you.
Oh, Lord.
We're a little bit getting a little bit without going back and forth. This green, this white should. Yeah. Except for the white. All the color is transparent. And remember that yellow, like your CAD yellow, by itself is very opaque. So you're going to have to add more. Anytime you're dipping yellow, make sure there's lots of medium in there.
That's the reason.
Otherwise, you're going to have an opaque color. And round, yeah, that's still opaque.
Yep, because
Now,
I added yellow.
White, take the brush,
Yep.
wipe it off on a paper towel, and then just dip it straight in water. But wipe off water and paint with that. You follow me?
Yeah.
Like a watercolor painter.
Yeah.
You know how to paint watercolor.
Well, I've done watercolor.
Come on, just take it. Just take it, Ron. Just take it.
So you're saying use this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Use what is on the brush now. Maybe the right. Let's find out. Let's see if it's the right intensity.
Oh, this.
Okay, go for it.
How will you know? Shut your eyes to do it?
Just go do it. Stroke on the canvas.
Okay, but you want it needs to be in the sort of the general area.
Where the green is.
Yeah, right.
Trees and grass. Okay, so no, it's not dark now. So now dip it, just a tip of it in there, and try it now. See. Even a little bit more. Even a little bit more.
Yeah.
There you go. Bingo. Oh wait, opaque. Somehow you got white in there. It might be because your white's there. And the opaque paint you want to paint with. But as I meant to say yesterday, till 4 o'clock Thursday. This class does not go till Friday. I kept saying yesterday Friday. Until 4 o'clock tomorrow. The name of the game is transparent color. In my book that is woefully unattended to, I have a whole page that explains, sort of like in physics, why transparent is better than opaque.
That is the coolest explanation. I love it. When you told us about the arrows and the eyes, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Did I do that last year?
Yes,
I was
Loretta and-
teaching good last
Yeah,
year.
you were.
Oh,
Well,
God.
Loretta and I discussed that one time, didn't we?
Did you? Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Yeah.
There's some things that you remember, there's some things, like how to do this, gone.
Goodness.
It's fun. I like chartreuse trees.
Yeah.
I'm having chartreuse trees in my picture. These are palm trees.
Now, I don't want to be. Don't say
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Then
Just don't say it.
What don't
Because
you wanna
kind
do?
of what happens is that you all do something quite different.
Yeah.
But we don't know it's quite different.
Yeah, we know it's quite different.
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
it's
That's
quite
right.
different.
Exactly. So
We're not aiming to be quite different.
that's right.
And you don't have to say that.
Different treating. Because late in the process, you go, well, why doesn't mine look like his? Well, at stage 1, you started going off on a different direction. Rough crowd. Okay, I'm gonna. My green is dry. I'm gonna do another glaze. So my next thing is I want to do some orange down here in the foreground because and maybe even up there in the background, orange and yellow, because that's what I see, and I like it so well that I'm going to do some up here, and do some on the boat. Oh, I'm just loving orange here. Okay, there. Y'all are a bad influence on me. Now I'm painting like y'all.
That's sad. That should scare.
That is bad news.
We're gonna
Run.
Oh, and did I say, at any point in the process, and of course with acrylics, we did it one time, but I didn't say it. No, I said it out loud. So if I feel like some of these streaks, you know, anything that doesn't feel stroking out. Woo! Okay, good. Is everybody done with their green yet? Bonnie, Polly, how are you doing? You catching up?
Yeah.
Okay, you're doing all right. You're behind, but you're doing all right. You started over. You knew you were going to be behind. Victoria, you did. Think about the dance. What have we done? Small again. And we just did two expressive, loose, artsy, either one. Light means we do it with white. Dark means we do some drawing with brushes. Well, you know, I look at mine and I think I could really use some dark definition on mine. Could y'all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that means we pick up a small brush. Again, relatively speaking, you know what I mean by that now. And you can pick any color you want, of course, or any colors you want, as long as they're dark. Now, the darkest in the transparent world, what is the darkest color? Purple. And frankly, I think purple would work really good on mine. Would it work on y'all's? Yeah, I think it would. Okay.
But I haven't done the orange yet.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so we're drawing, again, this is the second time we've drawn with brushes.
Are you using acrylic or paint?
Oh, acrylic. Oh, are we using what? We're painting in transparent acrylic. Switch to, or we switch to oil. And again, I'm making some subtle changes to my drawing.
That's just too much. It really touched things a little bit.
Okay, draw in purple. Go.
I need to get more.
You may watch me if you like for a minute. What I'm doing is the camera on me. Yeah. Good. Is the camera aimed?
But they show.
Now, when you start colors you're drawing with as you go along, you start out with purple, shift over to one of the blues or something because you get more variety. No, it doesn't take any more time, energy, but you get a little bit more bang for your buck because you're introducing more variety to the subject matter. I would suggest that with this dark, whatever you got on your brushes, purple or blue or whatever, that you indicate the trees in the background, the tree line in the background. We didn't, at least I didn't do that the first time around. Just to be a bit of time. And purple is an excellent, excellent underpainting for green. It's probably my go-to, other than maybe a magenta is also good underpainting for green.
You know, you're adding a lot of stuff to yours that is not in propping the boat up. I don't have those.
That's right. Right. I talked about that, but y'all were busy, so you don't catch everything I say. I said I think that this I've added two of them, one on each side, because I know that they are ubiquitous in the dry dock, old boat world. Yep. Thanks for. I've also, for what it's worth, I've added a telephone pole right here and I've lowered my tree line. Now the trees definitely go off the top of the picture in the middle. I want to make sure that the corners are not equal. That the
pole.
Yes, and I've added a pole here by the porch. Thank you for. That's just not fair, is it?
No.
Thanks for noticing. And it looks like a boarded up window or something. And I decided that was a bad idea. I decided it would look better if it was an open hole in the wall instead of boarded up. Now I don't know if I'm going to do one or just one of those or two. I haven't decided yet, but I've decided to make one of them. Thank you for pointing. Thank you for pointing all those things out. Yeah. Okay.
You can start on mine.
Victoria makes a photograph, or if you're doing plein air painting, you're still outside and you're looking at a scene. How are you supposed to respond to the photo or the scene? The answer is not. You don't have to copy it. Now, of course, everybody's different, and even I'm different. Some days I'm way more literal. Some days not so much. But generally speaking, things you wouldn't have thought of if it hadn't been there. It's like I could sit at myself, and you could too. I'd probably do a better job because I've probably painted more boats than most of y'all. I could do a pretty good job sitting in my studio at home, making up a old boat in a shed out of my head, right? I could do that, and I bet it would look good if body. Okay, then what is the purpose of looking at a photograph? The purpose is to increase your visual vocabulary. Now, I wouldn't have thought of doing a tree like that. I would have made mine, I'm exaggerating here, but I would have made mine just a plain old Bob Ross tree. That's not true, but let's pretend it is, okay? And then there's a photograph, and the tree in the photograph is like, oh, look at that tree, that's crazy, I'm going to do it like that. Okay? So it's okay to add things like I've done. And thank you for pointing out that I'm kind of cheating because I'm adding things without telling you.
I have a remarkable grasp of the office.
But that's why sometimes, like online, the internet, has all kinds of crazy art. Some are really outrageously good, and some are really bad. The people say, "And I did all." I shouldn't say that. I'm being overly passionate. I'm exaggerating here. You can tell. But no, that's not the way you grow as an artist. Is by painting things out of your head. Every time you paint things out of your head shrinks.
I always paint out.
Oh boy.
That would explain a lot.
There you go.
Anyway, the point is when you're looking at stuff, which is the hard work, it puts stuff into your head. Does that make sense?
Yes,
you
but
build your image. Yes.
I have this.
Let me see.
You think
where is it? Where's it placed?
Where the I like it.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you could do a better one next week when I'm not here.
I just thought that was really pretty.
Okay, but thank you. I'm glad you did point those things out. So I've added a telephone pole, another pole over here. I made this window dark, and I added a leaner, two things holding up the boat. That's about all. Everything else is pretty much inspired by the photograph. I am glad you pointed that out. Oh, I just went ahead without y'all and I didn't tell you anything. Okay, I got tired of drawing with small brushes, so I picked up a big brush and drew some real fast stuff with glue. Okay, I'm going to quit for a while, try to sort of catch up to where I am. How about that? No. Where are you at, Cindy? Are you waiting for something to dry?
Well, I made my big lines again with my purple and my blue. They're too big, of course. See?
They are.
See? It's terrible. I've only got 2 brushes, a 6 and an 8.
Yeah.
They
You
are.
can always see that. Okay, I'm scraping off it, but I make sure I'm
Yeah.
making interesting marks.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do some of that. But even
Yeah.
where's your biggest brush you were just complaining about?
This thing.
Yeah. You can make skinny lines with this brush. Don't mash the bristles against the canvas. Can I change a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Well, your whole boat, this, I'm ignoring this now.
Okay.
The bottom boat is leaning way up.
My color.
So I've shifted and I've raised the back of your boat too, so it's more like this.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's better.
Canvas, yes.
Okay.
And do you want to do this one that goes back like that?
Yeah. Yeah. See, I started right there.
Oh, okay. Fine with that.
A little bit smaller.
And if you accidentally make a line that's too fat, like if it's a 1/4 of an inch thick, then pick up your brush handle and scratch it. Turn it into 2 lines that are each a 1/16 of an inch thick. We're going to talk about brush strokes here in a little while. Okay, are you trying to aim a little bit in this direction? This degree of this degree of darkness, this degree of purple, blue, red, yellow, a lot of everything. Because I think we can go to oils pretty quickly here. In other words, yesterday it took us 2.5 hours to get to this point. Today we're going to get there in under an hour. Oh, that's no. You all may have cookies after. Yeah, after you catch up.
Okay.
Thank you.
I got it.
You know what? I love it. I love the color you got here. Can you take some purple and get darker?
Yeah, I want to get. That's what I was asking.
Darker.
Darker.
In where the trees are dark. So where the pictures. Where's your picture? Yeah. What's dark here? So around this boat, do purple there.
Do purple in the house. Purple.
That's because it's a shadow underneath the eaves. That's a shadow.
So.
And I don't like this line very much, but it's a shadow. It'll work out okay. Maria's brought us cookies. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Lovely. Yeah. But your purple is kind of opaque for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why. How about it? Can I mess with yours a little bit? Because it's an easy fix. Big brush. Big brush. Inappropriate. It would have taken too long to do that whole smaller. See that right there? There, that's close to the black.
I think it's just a good look.
That's right. Pat's doing one of her own. Just a little bit of me. A little bit of me. Okay.
Polly, don't do that.
Polly's doing 2 paintings, but the time it's taking us to do 1. You all are very close, doing good. Oh wait, I missed the middle row, didn't I? Hang on.
He did.
Some bigger areas of darkness is all. Maybe a big brush. Go back to this. Just to dark. See, I'm thinking this, that kind of stuff. You've got it here. It would take you too long to do that. Just have a big brush and do some dark. You're good.
I got plenty of brushes.
She already knows she's good. Oh, I do. If you will, if the purple is perfect, go back to a big brush. Just, I'm looking at this kind of stuff. Just do it. Like you've got it there, but it'll take too long to do with a smaller. Do you have a chip brush? No. Oh well, wait a minute. Here, borrow one of mine here. Because it'll take too long. Plus, I like the chip brushes, of course, because they make streaks. What drives Bonnie crazy is what I like. It makes streaky marks. I'm a recovering tidy. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
So I know how you feel It used to drive me when it's crazy when you take your you know, and be all speckled. Beautiful. Good job. It used to drive me crazy till I matured as a painter. And I go, oh, wait a minute. It's your childlike, innocent eyes. And you go, oh, wait a minute. That's actually quite nice. The first time I think that I did some acrylics and then something splashed on it and then I wiped it off and the acrylic, wait a minute, that looks great. So from then on I try to do it on purpose.
Do you have trouble with chip brush getting?
Yeah, hairs. Yeah, that just proves that it's real painting. No, if you can peel them off if they're not under too many layers. Like if they're the last layer, go ahead and pick it off. All of my paintings have hairs in them, I'm sure.
Okay. So then we
Yeah.
got a little.
That's so that in 1,000 years they can
That's
carve
right.
and bake my
Improve,
painting.
Okay.
So,
We'll check the DNA. on
that's
this.
right. They'll say,
Well, if they don't do it right, I'll tell you.
yeah. Okay,
There you go.
so we're gonna do one more thing before we have a cookie break.
Okay.
White, exactly. White details, white highlights, anything. Now, again, we're not looking for things that are white in your photograph. You're looking for things that are light, which could be light orange, light blue, light green, light red, anything that's light. And this is the second time we've done white, right? So this time, we don't just repeat what we did last time. We go into a little more detail, maybe a slightly smaller stroke, slightly finer stroke, a little bit more accuracy, and a little bit more detail. Ready?
Go.
Are we mixing white into anything?
No, it's straight white. Well, show me your white. Do you have a tube? Because I'm using a fluid acrylic. I should have thought about that earlier. If you're using a good quality, thick acrylic, then you might want to add water to it just so that it flows. Okay, so we are going to do white on anything that's light, making interesting marks, whatever that means, to the best of our ability. Sound like that should be followed up with, so help me God.
Yes.
Every once in a while, I'll use a palette knife in the acrylic stage. It doesn't happen very often, but I'm doing it here. So if you have a palette knife, that's a thought. You don't have to do it by any means. Okay. Marie has palette knives back there. Oh, there's a block and tackle pulley, isn't there? No.
Yeah, way up there.
Up there on the
Right
left?
there.
What is that?
Some kind of pulley.
Can't make it out. There's something. You don't have to include that. You can if you want. Let me give you, just since a few minutes ago I was talking about what is the proper use of the photograph or the subject matter then. It's to make you think of things you wouldn't have thought about. For instance, the main mast on this, I call it a mast, the main mast on this boat has metal bands going around it at various intervals. So if you were just painting by your own self, you might not think of that. You would just paint a white mast. But then you look at the photograph, you go, huh, that's interesting. And so then you add it to, do you see what I mean? You add details, textures, things that you wouldn't necessarily have thought about. You don't, of course, you don't have to. You can say, well, I don't like those metal bands, and take them out. But for the most part, anything that adds interest to the subject is what you want. Anything that adds texture to the image are things those are things that you like, generally speaking.
Now, if you think that, like, there's green lacking from the trees and stuff, you don't do the white until you've already done what you want to with the other color, the green.
That is a good question, and my painting is a great example of your question, because my painting has virtually no green in it. It was supposed to. A while ago we did a layer of green. I bet, Ron, do you have some green in yours? Yeah. So that just means my green's going to come later. Yes, you may add some green if you want to. Again, transparent, right? Now, but you have to think how much impact, think about it, how much impact if it's transparent green, how much is it going to have on my painting on a dark red purple? The answer is
Not
right, right. The answer is not much. So for me, I'm just going to leave it the way it is.
This is a very
Right. You have room to add some dark green to yours. You have value room, values room. You're not too dark. Mine, I think, is pretty much just too dark to bother trying. So, isn't that amazing?
Did we learn that much?
Did we what? Learn that much? Yeah, we. It is slightly. Should we have started this with this one yesterday? Live and learn. Let me clue you in perhaps or something. I think a lot of the charm of this scene, this photograph, such as it is, the charm is the ground in the shed that is going to make it an interesting painting. So trying to really indicate that in this early stage of the painting. On mine?
Yeah, looks great. I just wasn't expecting that much. I hadn't been looking up for a while when I was.
Yeah, yeah.
They've been really good. Almost a whole 2 days now, real good.
The room is very quiet. Are y'all still here?
We want
Maybe that's a good thing.
We want a cookie?
Yeah.
That is a good thing. And this sky holes and making a few very loose ones. Again, sky holes, easy to say, not easy to do. So the secret is learning what trees look like. I haven't done it yet, but I have in me anxious to do a whole hour-long or 2-hour-long video on how to paint trees.
That'd be great.
Oh, and in a word, the best way to paint trees is in layers. Step by step by step, not all at once. Not like Bob Timberlake. I like Bob Timberlake, like his paintings. I can't believe he's not in the nut house. Most people just don't have the patience to tongue paint 7,000 leaves on an old oak tree or whatever it is. Actually, he does more bare trees. Doesn't see winter. Yeah, 7,000 branches. He didn't ask me. Yeah, poor guy. He muddled through somehow. And as I understand it, he's a really nice guy. So.
He's my neighbor.
Is he really?
Yeah,
Up in Boone or somewhere?
No, Davidson County. Down
Really?
below that stuff. I taught school down there for a while. That was in its heyday in the 70s.
Really?
Yeah, late 70s.
Yeah, wow. Was that his heyday, did
Yeah.
you say?
That's when he was painting all the barns and all the people down there, and you know, Snakeish furniture.
Yeah. I got here in '89, so I got here late.
Well, I got it from his, you know what I mean?
Okay, I'm going to declare myself done with the white, and I'm ready to go to oil.
You did, couldn't you?
Before we go, can I interrupt you for just a minute? 'Cause I want to, again, give you big picture, inspire you for some of the reasons why I do some of this crazy stuff. In my painting, the way it is right now, you can still see my original, I'll call it the red-orange X. See, hit this, look at how much red is in this tree, and then that little bit right there coming, and then these little bit in the sky, even under that white right here. And you can bet, and there's a little bit right there, that when the painting is finished, you'll still see little bits and pieces of that. What makes my paintings really exciting is the completely random, chaotic, but beautiful ways that these alternate abstract colors peek through in the final painting. And you can still see it easily on this, some of these finished paintings, but I won't bother you. Finish your white, and then we can cookie break, and then we'll come back and do oil, okay? So I'm going to pack up my acrylics. Yahoo! That didn't take too long, did it? Right.
So this edge coming there, the banister is pretty bright. This wall is bright,
It
and that
is.
looks like hot bushes.
Yes. No, I would call all of this white.
So,
So no, yeah, but bigger brush.
Big.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, not. I think streaks come later. I think those ribs are too fine to try to capture those now. Yeah, I just think all of this, when you squint, this is pretty light.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
the
would make that white.
Stalks at that shadow. they're
Yeah.
just
Yes.
there.
Correct. And maybe. I guess that's all right. You could, when this is all
Light is
pretty
gray.
light. Yeah, but just do white. And that's okay. You've like cropped it, like here.
Yep.
Perfectly fine. Of course, in fact, yours is better. The painting's better than photograph. Good job.
Oh, great.
You
Okay.
have better composition.
Now, see, I've totally lost my tree. Tree's
Well,
gone.
oh.
That's what I was talking about, having not enough
No,
green.
and I would look squint. That's really light. Do some light there. Do you see squint?
With
See how light
light
that is?
green or with
No,
white?
with light.
With white.
Yes,
Give me a big brush with white on it.
that's right.
Close it in.
Yep, you're doing the right thing.
Okay. This is
Yeah.
or upwards.
No, in fact, you're being too dainty completely.
Oh,
Remember? Think like me.
oh,
Think messy.
wow.
Yeah. Enough? Yep. Yeah, good. Good. Very good.
I'll take a good. At this point, I'll take a good.
That goose,
Mine is just kind of simple.
One bag. One bag.
Cats doesn't, cats
If you come
giving
back
up.
and split it, why
Just have enough of me. You just take as much as you want.
Yeah, Pat's been eating cookies for 15 minutes.
That was a pot, that was not big cat.
Pat's been eating cookies for 15
Cookies are
minutes.
gone.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
Pat's
I'm
man.
where
Just want y'all to know.
and dark it, where the photograph is, see how this is all dark? How about some, how about some darkness? Yeah, can I do just related? Here's what I want you to see, Don. I said, squint at the photograph. And see all the dark areas. Whoa, man. There's a lot of dark.
Squint, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That needs to be dark.
So, small brushes, way too small. May I?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to indicate stuff that's dark. And of course, as you know, I'm not going to be
Right.
pussyfoot around, being real careful, trying to. You'd be better off thinking hard edges are the enemy. We use hard edges in the very last step of the spec. Okay? Now, I know that seems crazy, but again, squint now, and squint to this, it's like, oh, doggone.
Yeah, well.
It does look a lot closer. If you, let's do a little bit
See, I don't
of shadows. I'm doing too dark now. That's a little bit too dark.
That's how I really agree with those. Because actually,
Yeah.
the perception was.
You can, let me do some of these shadows. What I'm doing is, and this is very typical, Ron, very typical as you progress in your art.
Yeah. I'm not there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing great for how long you've been doing it. So, and again, you can stop there, or if you want to do a little bit of white, like you
Yeah.
come out.
Because that's.
That needs to be light. See, when you
That needs to be
squint,
light.
that's
Yeah.
dark, but here's light. See? Y'all doing very well. Let me come around, Cindy, and say.
Yesterday, yeah. Used that up. I was going crazy with it today.
You might have to wait for that. No, you can take a rag. If it's dark underneath there, take a rag and try to
Just
go through some of that white stuff and see if it. Yes, yes. Although your streaks are like too evenly spaced.
Yeah, they
With the two together, you'll need more white paintbrush. Oh, I think make the white go all the way to the end of the boat. See, the end of the boat is very sharp,
Yeah, it is.
and then
Okay.
and those blend together.
Okay.
and this is, we're doing looseness, but you're happy doing it this way. Do it. Now look at the picture, and you'll see that but this isn't. There's no darkness there. Oh, a very, very little, and it's very bright. Again, squint at the photograph to see your values, and squint at your painting to see the lights and darks. When you squint, you cut out the color, and you see the true values in things more realistically. Another trick is when you're at home and you're doing a painting, it's really good, but if you work into the evening and the sun has gone down, you can always look at your painting, you're doing the right thing or not, because all you'll see is values. And it really helps to look at it that way. There's an app available on our phone. Real quick. That's right.